Hi everyone, welcome to Vaudio Files. Today we are going to read Harry Potter Chapter 1. And remember, I'm not going to read the whole thing, I'm just going to give you the very important bits and pieces and we're going to analyze them. Does a 350-page book intimidate you? Is your book report due tomorrow? Not to fear, you've come to the right place. Vaudio Files will help you out. Today we're going to summarize what happens in Chapter 1 very, very quickly. We're not going to leave out any details though. This will have all the main parts of Harry Potter Chapter 1. Number 4, Privet Drive. Hosted a perfectly normal family. Thank you very much. They had 3 members in their family. Mr. Vernon Dursley, a director of a firm called Grunnings, which made drills. Mr. Dursley was a big and beefy man with no neck and a mustache under his nose. Mrs. Dursley, on the other hand, was quite the opposite. She was very skinny and had twice the neck any human should ever have. This neck was useful for spying on neighbors when Mr. Dursley was at work. They also had a very small boy named Dudley Dursley. Dudley, in their opinion, was the finest boy ever created. Mrs. Dursley had a sister, Mrs. Potter. They couldn't stand them. They thought that they were undursley-ish and abnormal. They couldn't bear if the Potters had come to Privet Drive. What would they have done? Again, this is emphasizing the point that the Dursleys liked to be normal, average. They didn't like to be different. They wanted a nice, calm, and steady life. This will all soon change. Our story begins on a Tuesday morning when Mr. Dursley is heading to work. Don't get me wrong, but going to work is kind of a hassle when you have Dudley as a son. First, they had to wrestle Dudley into a high chair. And when Mr. Dursley was leaving, he tried to kiss Dudley, but he couldn't because Dudley was having a tantrum, throwing all his cereal over the wall. No one noticed an owl fly past the window at this time. Mr. Dursley left the house and hopped into his car. He turned around and saw, could that be? A tabby cat reading a map? He looked again and he saw the tabby cat, but no map. What a weird day, he thought. He had to work and there was a lot of traffic and he saw some weird people in cloaks. He just thought that this was a new fashion trend and went to work. He had a good day at work. He had his back facing towards the window so nothing would distract him. And he took a lunch break to walk to the bakery to buy himself a bun. He caught some people in the weird clothes again, in the cloaks, gossiping about somebody named Harry Potter. Harry Potter? He started to sweat. Was that the Potter's young son? He didn't remember their name. He just went to the bakery. When he was coming back, he bumped into an old lady in a cloak. Sorry, young old lady, he said. The lady basically said that, oh, don't be sorry. I'm happy for the rest of my life, for today at last, you know who has disappeared. And of course, Mr. Dursley being such a normal man, he thought that this was some sort of joke and went home. At the dinner table, he asked Mrs. Dursley if Harry Potter was the name of the Potter's son. Mrs. Dursley responded with, yes, of course, I think. Harry, such a dirty and common name. Mr. Dursley once again had started to sweat. Oh no. He turned on the TV and on the news report, there was a man on the Weather Channel. He said, hello, Frank. Today we have seen a number of owls flying over London. Mr. Dursley started to get worried. Could he connect all the dots? Was something truly absurd happening? He thought not and just went to sleep. He wouldn't be involved in such a mess. He was perfectly normal. So he thought. The tabby cat had been sitting like a statue all day, and it didn't move until midnight. A man emerged from the corner of Privet Drive. He was an old man, tall, and had very pale skin. He wore half-moon glasses. He carried a cigarette lighter in his hand. "Hello, Professor McGonagall," he said. The cat looked at him. He took out a cigarette lighter and clicked it. Click! Bloop! A street light had just went out. Click! He clicked his cigarette lighter. Bloop! The next light just went out. He did this 12 times, and now all the lights on the street were turned off. The cat then moved once again. It had turned into a woman. "Hello, Professor Albus Dumbledore," she said. So now we know this man who comes on the side of the street is Professor Dumbledore, Albus Dumbledore. And we know that this lady, Professor McGonagall, has the power to turn into a cat. Truly weird, isn't it? "Where is he?" she asks. Professor Dumbledore tells him that he is with Hagrid. Suddenly, there's a huge motorcycle that flies in. We see that this character is Hagrid, and he had borrowed the motorcycle from a man named Sirius Black. Hagrid was a very, very tall and bushy man. He looked utterly irresponsible. He carried a small bundle in his arms. Professor McGonagall asked Albus Dumbledore, "Do you really trust Hagrid?" Professor Dumbledore said, "I would trust Hagrid with my life." Hagrid started to cry. He said he didn't want to leave the bundle on the doorstep. He then managed to leave the bundle on the doorstep of number 4 Privet Drive. Professor Dumbledore then exclaimed, "Harry Potter is with his new family. He will live at number 4 Privet Drive."